Hi, Steve Von Brand here for trophy bass fishing videos and tips. We've had some really serious weather changes in the last week. It's rained for almost 7 days straight. We've had rains 1 inch to 2 inches some days. We had a tropical storm in between. You saw me fishing, I think, if you watched some of the videos in the tropical storm with Ken, Fish Herman Reynolds of Red Mill Tackle. We caught some bass, but I think now that the water temperatures have dropped about 10 or 12 degrees, we've had cloud cover every single day, of course, because of the rain. We've had winds upwards of 35 miles an hour, so the bass should be in a real transitional state, and I'm going to try to find them today. We're going to throw some of the Piz custom baits, crankbaits and rattle traps. We're going to throw a chatterbait, of course, a Z-Man chatterbait with the Zoom split tail trailer. And see if some of these bass are on a different type of a pattern. I'm not going to work the docks first with the jigs or the soft plastics. We're going to see if they're going to hit some type of a faster moving bait or whether they're on a crankbait bite. We've got 49 degrees right now. It was 43 last night. It's going to go up to only 59 today and 59 tomorrow. We've got a 10 to 15 mile an hour wind going on, cloud cover the whole day. So I'm going to see you guys in a minute. We're going to see what happens with some of these faster moving baits and check out the mood of the fish here in Delaware and the lakes and ponds. So I'll see you guys in a minute.
Okay, I threw the Davis jig into the boat here called Drifter, where I tell people you always got to get in close, don't make a sound. This weighs 6.5, almost 7 pounds. I'm going to weigh it now because it's so close to 7 pounds. Okay, let's get the scale out and let's see how much this weighs. Davis jig, Sweet Beaver trailer, right after a major storm. Got some wind going, cloud cover, 52 degrees. 6 pounds, 12 ounces. Not 7, but man, that's damn close to 7. Had a lot of trouble earlier today, through the crankbaits, through the jig into all the docks. They just weren't hitting it, but you got to be persistent and stay with it. That's what you're going to come up with. 7 pound bass. Nice bass. All right. There we go. 7 pound bass. Let's get him off of here and get him back in. Don't want the wind to blow on that slime coat too much. Get this baby back in for the spawn. Boy, hooked good. Gonna have to get some pliers out of here. Wouldn't have gotten off, that's for sure. Wouldn't have thrown that jig like yesterday, huh, Ken? I told you, you just gotta be persistent with this jig. You gotta get in there close. There we go. Get in there nice and close. Make some real quiet presentations. And see it for a second here. There it is. Get in nice and close, make some real quiet presentation. See the stomach on it and the shoulders? That's a nice 7 pound bass. Well, 6.12, but 7 pounds. Beautiful fish. All right. Okay, let's get this baby back down into the water. The size of that. Can you see the size of that bass? Whoa! There we go. Back down into the dock. 7 pounds, Davis jig, Sweet Beaver. That's a half-ounce jig. What I did was, like I've told you guys before, I cut the weed guard off. I trimmed it down so it just touches the point. Spread that out a little bit. That's 50-pound Test Power Pro braid, and I've got that Sweet Beaver trailer on it. And that's the green pumpkin jig, has a little orange in it, and the Sweet Beaver has the green and red flecks in it. That's the regular 4.20 Sweet Beaver, full-size Sweet Beaver. I'm using a 7-foot flipping stick, medium heavy action. It's the way to go. Transition, giant bass, cloud cover, 50 degrees. See you guys. There is a difference between pitching and flipping, but most of the bass that you're going to catch are going to be caught pitching. Flipping is where you pull the line out, you hold about 3 or 4 feet of line out like that, and you just dip it in, drop it down, and move along, leave the reel engaged. Just
bring it up like that, dip it in like that, and you go along just dipping every couple feet to specific cover like that. But most of your bass are going to be caught the way I just caught that last one there at that boat called Drifter. Not holding it like this and actually flipping to close cover. Most of it is done pitching. And I just hold the bait in my hand like that, and you make a specific cast right out there, and you pick the dock apart. You just come along to each post, and you want to get up under the ropes wherever you see a ladder, steps on the docks. Just make a pitch in, engage the reel, watch the line right away. I've told you guys this before lots of times, that you've got to be a line watcher. That bass that I caught that was almost 7 pounds, that was caught with the lightest bite you could imagine. You wouldn't even have known that you had a fish on there if you just weren't really watching the line, watching the way the bait fell down. Had a real sensitive rod. It just comes, I guess, with practice. You just need to watch that line. You need to set the hook. Just make a nice flip in there. You can control the way the bait enters the water with the rod as it's going through the air. I hold it like this again, make a flip out, and then just, you can lift the rod tip, you can turn the bait with the rod in the air, and you just carefully thumb it, and that controls the entry into the water. Again, just watch, just hold it like that, make a nice pitch out, control it into the water, engage it, watch the line as it falls down. You want to pick apart each post of that dock, going along carefully, flipping that in like that. Watch the line as it falls. That was falling on not a slack line, but a controlled line. And you want it to fall vertical if you can, and then watch it, control the bait all the way down, and then when it feels the slightest bit different, mushy, just a little tick to the side, you want to set that hook right away. No noise, that's the key. You come in close, it doesn't matter, they'll hit right at your feet. Just make a real quiet presentation like that. Don't bang on the boat, don't bang the docks. You can get in real close to these fish. And you'll be pulling 7-pound bass out right at your feet. Oh yeah, there we go. Right off the wall here. This is where I just caught the one with Ken the other day. What do you think, Ken? Nice, huh? On that jig right in here in that cove you were telling me you had good luck in. On the Davis jig again, that was about 4.5 pounds. Nice bass. Really nice bass. Let's get him off here. Wind's really blowing now. There we go. Another one that's a 7-pounder and a 4.5 pounder now. Let's go around and see if we can get a couple more here. Same jig, same trailer, a little further down. That wind's going about 20-25 miles an hour now. Okay, there we go. Nice bass. And there it goes. Right out of this cove, flipping the seawall. About 1.5 feet deep. I think it's about 52 degrees now, 53 degrees. Okay, there you go. This is what I was just going to say. I thought when I catch the next one, I'm going to explain this. That when you're using a jig, you've got to commit to the jig. You can't just throw it half-heartedly. Sometimes you can go an hour, 2 hours. You have to flip every dock, every piece, every inch of the seawall. That's 4 pounds. That's my 3rd fish. Now I've only got 3 fish, but I've got 3 fish in 4 hours. And I can come in now with 5 fish that weigh 20 to 25 pounds. And that's the difference. You just have to commit to this jig. See that jig? That's what it looks like. 1/2 ounce, Sweet Beaver trailer, 50 to 65 pound test Power Pro braid. You go along and just flip every couple inches. I pulled him right out here
15 yards down from where I caught the 7-pounder 2.5 hours ago. Okay, nice.
There he goes, big. That's a hefty bass. And there he goes.
Yes, back in. Davis Jigs, Sweet Beaver Trailers, 61 degrees. I'm going to head back in now. It's 3 o'clock. I got here today at 11, so 11 to 3, 4 hours it's all. Checking out the mood of the fish, and I think they're in a pretty good mood. I was swimming the jig on the way back in, bringing it in so I could leave, and one hit it. I thought I was hooked on a tree. I was swimming it so fast I didn't believe it was a bass, so actually that would have been 4. So I'll talk to you guys in a minute when I get back in here.
Well, it was a pretty good day. Some pretty decent bass. You just have to bear down and you have to stay with that jig. When you have a jig on, you have to commit to it. And flip that jig the whole day. And don't miss an inch. Every 4 or 5 inches along that shoreline, along the seawall, along every post on all the docks. And flip every single one, and you're going to come up with 5 or 6 fish, especially if it's in a 7 or 8 hour tournament, that are generally the winning bag. So that's the way you do it. And they're still on a jig bite. I threw all the crankbaits. I threw 5 or 6 different crankbaits in different colors. Beautiful crankbaits. They just weren't on a crankbait bite yet. Threw a spinnerbait, threw the chatterbait. They just weren't on a fast-moving bait. So I picked up that jig, and they started hitting it again. Real quality bite, as you could see. So that was one of my top 3 fish this year, that 8.2 and a couple other 7s, and that 7 just there was one of the probably top 3 or top 5 fish the whole year. So until next time, Steve Von Brandt down here in Sussex County, Delaware, saying see you guys on the water.